Good day, guys. We are back on our physiology questions, exam questions, and this question is quite a long one, but very simple question, right? It's just bulky. The question just looks bulky, but it's a very cheap question. Now they said that in this question, describing food are the nucleus, mitochondria, and the cell membrane as a unicellular organelle. All right. Now, what is their relevance to survival? All right. So the sequence of answering this question, first of all, you talk about what they are telling you about, and next you talk about the importance, all right, the relevance of it to survival. Okay. So next, this is the mitochondria, right? This is mitochondria. This is the shape and everything. Okay. You see the granules. You see the intermembrane space, all right? You see the mitochondria, DNA, and the ribosome and everything. All right. So let's proceed. We say that first of all, the mitochondria is an organelle of the cell. First of all, it is located in the cytoplasm. It is also called what? Powerhouse of the cell. It is cylindrical, rod-like in shape. All right, this is what we are talking about. It has a double membrane. All right, that's outer and inner membrane. All right. Now the outer membrane is permeable, and the inner membrane is what? Impermeable. Okay. This is the inner membrane that we are talking about. This is the outer membrane. All right, you get to see where the arrow is pointing. Now between the two membrane is the intermembrane space. The inner space is thrown into what? Folds called cristae. Very important. All right, i I see this in almost every exam, right? MCQ. This cristae, these folds get to increase the surface area. Okay. Now next we say that the inner membrane is enclosed to form what? Matrix. The matrix contain enzymes for fatty acid and oxidation. It has its own DNA and ribosome for protein synthesis. All right. Um, the the mitochondria has its own DNA and ribosome. Okay, for protein synthesis. It's reproduced by binary fission. Okay. Now, what is the relevance of this mitochondria to life? And first of all, we say that all cells require energy. And if mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, you should see how important the mitochondria is. Okay. Now, all cells require energy to carry out their normal physiological activities. The mitochondria serves as the what? The powerhouse for the generation of adenosine triphosphate, which is a useful form of energy. Okay. um this is the sole role of the mitochondria. Okay, it serves as a powerhouse of generation of adenosine triphosphate. Right, so with that, guys, we are done with the mitochondria, and we could see that the mitochondria is just like it has to solely do with energy production. Now next we'll be talking about the nucleus. I'll get to see that the nucleus is the largest and the spherical organelle of the cell. It is 6 micrometer in diameter. Okay, it occupies 10% of the volume of the cell. It has a cell membrane that is double layered too. Okay, and once anything is double layer in physiology, just know that it's outer and inner. Now the outer is continuous with the what? The intracellular space. Okay, this is the nucleus that we are talking about. Okay, the membranes are not labeled, but you know that the membranes are in two layers, right? Inner and the outer membrane. The inner membrane makes contact with the what? Nucleoplasm. Okay, the nucleoplasm contains chromosomes and nucleolus. The nucleolus is condensation of what? RNA. The chromosome bears the DNA. The DNA contains genes. Genes code for amino acid. This is like a process, right? These are things related to each other. Let me go over it again, all right? Next, we say that the nucleolus is a condensation of RNA. The chromosome bears the DNA. The DNA contains genes. The genes code for amino acid, okay? Now, if nucleus is the control house of the cell, what is relevance to life? Definitely you know that it controls the cell division and regulation of metabolic activities of the cell, right? It's like an officer of the cell controlling everything that happens in the cell. Okay. Now, how about the cell membrane that we are talking about? All right. This is a picture of the cell membrane. Right. You could see that. I don't know how to define it. Okay. The cell membrane is tri-layer. Okay. The outer layers are the hydrophilic, and the middle layer is hydrophobic. Okay, so let's talk about this. We say that the cell membrane is a biological limiting membrane that separates the intracellular fluid from the extracellular fluid. Now, it is called plasma lemma. It is 7.5 to 10 microns in diameter. It is arranged in what? Trilaminar pattern. This tell you that it's a tri-layer, okay? It's a three-layered stuff, okay? Get this, guys, get this, guys. Now, let's talk about what I was trying to talk about. So that it has two hydrophilic phosphate groups arranged externally, okay, and internally. Now, in between the hydrophilic is the word hydrophobic, okay. Now, from this image, you get to see these things as structures. You get to see that outside is like the head, all right. Now, the head is what? Hydrophilic. Now, the middle of this is the tails. Now, these tails are what? Hydrophobic. I would say that in between the hydrophilic is a hydrophobic fat group. It contains what? Proteins, lipids, carbohydrates. Now, the composition of this layer is very important, and this can make up an MCQ question. First of all, you see that the protein is 55%, cholesterol should be 13%, phospholipids should be 25%, 4% of other lipids and other carbohydrates, okay. Other lipids should form 4%, and other carbohydrates should form 3%, okay. The cell membrane is trilaminar, okay, it's three layer, and the outer layers are hydrophilic, okay. They are water penetratable, and while the middle layer is hydrophobic, is water hating. Anything phobic is hate. Philic, I like it, okay. This is the cell membrane that we are talking about. I've already explained all this, all right. You see the hydrophilic hairs, okay. Where's the you see the hydrophobic tails, okay. So it's just like something, it's little head and tail, and the head is water loving, while the tail is what? Water hating, okay. So that's just like the summary of what we are talking about. Now, what are the relevance of the cell membrane? It serves as a protective structure by regulating the movement of substances in and out of the cell. Okay, it's a semi-permeable membrane and regulates what substance is actually coming into the cell and what substance is going out. Okay, so guys, in this tutorial, we spoke about the mitochondria, we spoke about the nucleus, and we spoke about the cell membrane. And all these three are very, very important to the survival of the cell. The mitochondria producing energy, the nucleus regulating the activities of the cell, the cell membrane regulating the movement of substances in and out of the cell, and all that. So with these guys, we have answered this exam question, and see you guys in the next.